What's up and welcome to today's video. And today's video is our New Year's Eve cruise itinerary video. And we've been filming a lot in the car recently.
Yeah.
It works. So we are really excited because this is the itinerary video. This is kind of where we break down a little bit of what we plan to do on our cruise. So let's get started. Let's talk some itinerary.
I plan to make Dean Martin look sober.
That starts on day 2. Technically day 3.
You asked.
So we will be leaving for Galveston on Friday, December 27th. It is, in technicality, without any hiccups, it is around a 10-hour drive door to door, but from our door to the door of our hotel. But number one, we always know that that's not going to how it works. And number two, there's Buc-ee's in between here and there.
Oh, 3 to 4 of them.
And there's breakfast in Oklahoma City. If you guys watched our travel video of Sam's graduation trip, I slept through Oklahoma City. Woke up and had to pee. That was the...
I'll give you 5 good reasons, just like Lucy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It was the worst exit. It was under construction. There was no lighting. It was horrible. So we have joked ever since then that Sam's gonna wake me up in Oklahoma City.
Oh, that's not a joke.
And I have to go pee. And I said, well, if we're gonna go pee, let's stop and have breakfast.
Okay.
He's like, great, you're gonna pee when we get there, and you're gonna pee before we leave. So anyway, we plan to be up around 11:30 midnight on the 26th/27th, and to get an early start because number one, there's not going to be as much traffic going that early. Front end. Thankfully, places like Denny's, Waffle House, things like that are open 24/7. Something that we learned on Sam's graduation trip is that McDonald's is no longer open 24/7. So that was quite a bummer when you're starting at, 3 a.m. Thankfully, we had thought ahead and grabbed some great value little mini cinnamon buns that were a couple bucks, and so we snarfed those down along the road. But we will plan better for this escapade. So we will drive down to Texas on the 27th. We are staying at a different hotel this time. We are staying at the Holiday Inn Express on the Seawall, and it is the one right next to a popular destination called The Spot. And in fact, the night of the 27th, we have a cruise group meetup through our Facebook cruise group at The Spot. So we just have to be right next door. A couple things or about 3 things I think that were a bonus to us was number one, they do not charge a fee for parking. If you have been following us for a while, you know that we've stayed the last couple at the True by Hilton on the Seawall. It's a really nice hotel, don't get me wrong. But there is a parking fee, and it was $10 when we were there last December and even back in May, but it has gone up to $15 now per night of parking. So having free parking was definitely a perk. It is more centrally located to some more of the popular things to do, more evening type activities. The hotel, the True, is great if you're wanting to spend most of your time literally across the street at the beach. But we really wanted to go check out The Spot, but The Spot, from what we could tell, there wasn't a lot of parking. We also didn't want to...
Well, we didn't think there was a lot of parking with
Rainforest either, and it was kind of in a weird behind-ish spot. But it's literally right next door. We can just walk next door to it. And when we were at the True in May, the breakfast wasn't great. It was like the hot stuff was cold, and it's not like we were there really late. We were there fairly early for breakfast because we're like, okay, we needed to have breakfast, finish checking out of our room, loading the car. We needed to run to Walmart. We had like things that we needed to do before our 10 a.m. and get, arrive at the port time. So the breakfast was cold, which was kind of a bummer. So the breakfast at Holiday Inn looks fantastic. And so we're excited to try out a new hotel, not only for us, but for you guys. If you guys are planning to sail out of Galveston, it gives you guys another look at another hotel as another option. So we're pretty excited about that. So we will get, like we said, we'll leave on the 27th. We will get there. We will get there at least by, 3 ish. It just will, it depends on how long we take to have breakfast, how long we are at Becky's, all that kind of thing. And I say how long at Becky's because it's very easily able
Becky's can take time.
Becky's can take time. Number one, it's a clean bathroom. And number two, it is a great opportunity to stretch your legs. And there's a lot of room to stretch your legs. And they just have a lot of stuff to look at. I know on my list of Becky snacks to pick up is saltwater taffy, gummy bears.
Or on your way to the bathroom. I mean, why not spend $200 on a piece of art as you go pee?
Sam is referring to a TikTok that I sent him a little while ago where, it's a guy complaining about his wife going into Buc-ee's. But I know that we really also do like their beef jerky. And we did a taste test, and I can't remember if we ended up filming this or not, or just told you about it afterwards.
The fresh beef jerky is a little wetter.
Yeah, it's a little...
We honestly prefer the packaged.
Yeah, we got, what was it, hot and spicy, I think? Something like that. In both the fresh beef jerky from the case, and we got it in their sealed packaging. Because we wanted to know, is the fresher beef jerky more worth it? And we both
For us, no.
It was not. Ours was literally wet.
Yeah,
it was weird.
This
Need to sit in on the dashboard of the car while we're gone and kind of dry out some more. So we do prefer the packaged beef jerky, and so we'll probably pick up some of that because that is a good road trip snack going down the road.
I mean, you can always get your Dom Perignon at Buc-ee's. I mean, you can't buy it anywhere else, so why not buy it at your local gas station?
One of the differences, and I want to say that, all the states around us, you can. Kansas, you cannot buy, you can just finally buy beer at Walmart.
Yes, we're that backwards.
Right. It's just been in the past couple of years that you can now buy alcohol on Sundays. But, it's really funny, when we go to Branson, because we stop at the downstream queue, which is literally just on the other side of the state line. They have just shelves of wine and champagne and hard liquor. And I'm going, and I remember the first time, side note, when we went to, we moved to Washington, and we were driving, and I was like, you can buy alcohol at a gas station?
Yeah, everywhere but this godforsaken state.
So, one of the things that you can carry out, you cannot take hard alcohol or things like beer onto a cruise ship. But the amount that you can take on differs by cruise line, so always check the FAQs for your cruise line. For Carnival, you can take on 1 bottle of wine or 1 bottle of champagne per person over 21. So Sam and I could each carry on a bottle of wine or champagne onto the cruise ship, which Sam said, because we will be on the cruise ship on New Year's Eve, Sam is thinking about getting a bottle of champagne for our room. And then all we have to do is tell our room attendant, hey, on New Year's Eve, would it be possible to get a bucket of ice? because we'd like to chill some champagne, and they'll actually make sure that our bottle of champagne gets in the bucket. So you can also take on a 12-pack per person of canned soda. And so if you did not know, Carnival is a Pepsi ship. Sam is not a Pepsi person. So we will be taking on a 12-pack.
Try to poison me.
We'll be taking on a 12-pack of Coke for him.
The Santa packs are coming.
Santa packs are coming. And another side note, if you're wondering why there's a stool in our back seat, it's October and we're roughing rec volleyball, and Sam is able to sit on the stool in the nest instead of standing. So that's why that's back there. Anyway, so the 28th, so that's the 27th, along with some other random information. Back to the itinerary. The 28th, we will... Oh, did I mention that we're going to a meetup? Did I mention that we are...
No, I don't think so.
Okay. We are...
I don't know.
Anyway.
If so, here you go again.
Right. We joined our cruise group back over the summer, and we are doing several different exchanges. I organized an ornament exchange. We are each individually participating in a cruise group gift exchange. Excuse me. This particular cruise, it's groups of 5, so you're buying for 4 other people. And so Sam and I are doing that each. So we'll and of course, we can kind of mix and match. If there's something that Sam likes out of one of my things, obviously he can have it, and vice versa. So if he gets earrings, he won't wear earrings.
I don't think so. They're not my shade.
But I purchased from TikTok Shop these little Debbie tree earrings, and Sam was like, "Those are cute. If I still had my ear pierced, because he has the other ear,
yeah.
This one, pierced from when he was before we met." And I was telling one of the girls I work with, and she goes, "Okay, I'll sit on him, and you just poke it through real fast." Sam was not okay with that idea. So
I do not support this message.
But there's a meetup at the spot, which I know I mentioned is right next door to our hotel. So we will go to that, and we are going during happy hour. So I'm excited. It says they have fried pickles. It says they have fried pickles, and it says they're fried pickle chips. So I'm assuming they're like the hamburger chip style, and not like the long
Which is good, because the spears are just weird.
Yeah, the spears are weird.
The spears do not come out right.
The spears do not come out right. They do not have enough crunchy coating, and it's just weird. Then I feel weird dipping a pickle in a ranch, but when it's fully coated and a nice yummy breading, I don't feel as weird about it. Okay, so now we'll go on. Saturday the 28th, embarkation day. We will start by having breakfast at the hotel, which is great. Making sure that your hotel has complimentary breakfast, even if you do end up having to stay at a hotel where you're charged parking, does take one thing off of your plate. You don't have to try to decide where at work you're going to go have breakfast before trying to get all your luggage packed into your car or into your Uber or Lyft or however you're getting to the port. Depending on what is going on, if there's any last minute things that we need, we may run to Walmart. It just kind of depends on if there's anything we need, whatnot. We will get our luggage back into the car. I don't foresee us taking all of it in like we have the past couple of times.
Not unless we're needing to shuffle stuff around.
Right. But hopefully we'll be able to have enough time to make sure that everything is shuffled before we leave. And all we'll have to do is take in, you've seen it in multiple vlogs, my black Mickey Mouse airline approved carry-on.
You're taking it this time.
I'm taking it this time.
Yeah, you're carrying it through.
Yeah. So, if you guys missed that in the other video, Sam got stopped with like 500 other people, and got, because of my inhalers.
I'm a terrifying terrorist, okay?
So Sam's like, this time you're carrying your own bag with all of your medication in it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag and hold it out in front of me. Like, here.
They'll still jump you.
Probably. Or they'll still grab you and terrify me in the process. Anyway, so we are once again parking at Galveston Park and Cruise. If you are taking a Carnival cruise, highly recommend Galveston Park and Cruise. They are literally right across the street from the 2 Carnival terminals in Galveston. I did not realize this last year. I just thought, oh, it's close to the port. Well, the port is really long. So I actually really just lucked out.
This time if I get snagged again, I'll just start singing Jingle Bones. I got through checkpoint A, but not through checkpoint B. That's when you shot me in the head.
And we have never had an issue with Galveston Park and Cruise. The last 2 times we have parked outside. This time we did decide to park inside. And it was like, what, $15?
There wasn't enough difference that it made any...
It was less than $20 difference parking inside or outside. So we went ahead and we're like, well, you know what? We're just going to go ahead and pay the little bit extra and park inside this time. So that we took care of that beginning of October, so beginning of this month. We were going to push it off a little bit longer. Last year we didn't purchase it until like November, I think. But the Jubilee
leaves the same day.
Leaves the same day as we do. And I'm going, no, we're going to go ahead and get this taken care of.
Then they're out of our normal
yes.
terminal.
The last 2 times we have actually boarded through the new terminal that was built for the Jubilee, and we've come back onto the old port.
Yeah.
But we're actually boarding into that older port this time, so that will be interesting.
Well, that's gonna stink.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's not near as close.
It's not. It's probably another 50 feet.
I don't know if it was more than that.
So we will have to see how that's all going to work out. Last December we carted all of our own luggage with us and dropped it off. In May we dropped off all of our luggage. Sam went and dropped off the car. Then Sam waited and then walked back, and so I think that way
works better.
I think it works a lot better because trying to maneuver multiple suitcases is not fun. Especially when you add on the fact that we're going to have soda with us, a couple 12 packs of soda and 2 large suitcases and a small carry-on. And you're probably wondering, why are we taking a carry-on if we're taking 2 large suitcases? You do not get your luggage right away. And in case you decide that you want to change clothes before your luggage gets there or whatnot, it's better and in case your luggage for some reason, arrives late or whatnot, it's always best to take a couple changes of clothing. If you're taking a swimsuit, throw it in that bag. If you're taking on a fan, it has to go into a carry-on bag. It cannot be checked luggage. Put it that way. That'll just go in there, and that will stay with us. And then it's embarkation. On the last 2 times, our paperwork has said that we could not get into our rooms until 1:30. So that has
been inaccurate both times.
It has. We've been in last December at 1, and in May it was like 1:10, 1:15, something like that. And that's not something that you can really count on happening. Always plan that you are not going to get into your room until they tell you until 1:30. Unless you are platinum or faster to the fun, and then you're able to just go take your suitcases straight to your room, leave them, and then leave so that the room attendants can finish things up. But if we're not platinum. We are in between for gold. Next year we will probably be gold. in one of our cruises next year, we will be gold. But and we don't mind having the suitcase around with us. It's real.
No, it gives her something to whack people with.
It's like Revenge of Disney World, where instead of the stroller, it's the suitcase. Once we get through, you go through security. They check your boarding pass. They'll check our ID. They'll check our birth certificates. And they'll look at our marriage license. Obviously, if you have a passport, you don't have to do the ID and that part of the paperwork. When we check in, which will be 11 p.m. on Friday, December 13th, so Friday the 13th, yay, I will mark a cash account instead of a debit card. But once we get on board, we will go to guest services and add a card as a backup. What we learned from our first cruise on Royal is that you are double charged. You're charged while you're on the ship, and then about 24 hours later, they charge you again, and the first one will fall off. But it does take about 7 to 10 business days for that to happen. So we have learned that the best thing to do is to just make it a cash account and put cash on there. We start out with what normally $100, 50 to 100 a person, and putting the debit card on there as a backup means that because especially when we're in Key West, we do pay tax on our drinks, even though we are we'll be on the drink package. Because you're in U.S. waters, you have to pay tax. If the tax is like 87 cents and we have 75 cents, it's not going to decline it. If you don't have that card backup on there, it will decline it, and you'll have to go to guest services, put more cash on your account before you can get a drink. Having the card on there just simply means that we are able to go down to guest services at any time and add an additional amount of money if we need to. And things like spa services, if you buy anything at the art auction, anything in the fun shops, remember it's a cashless system. It's all charged to your room, but you can take cash and pay off your sign and sale card. Just like if you put things on your Disney room, you can go in the evening and pay them off. You can do the same thing on a cruise ship. Highly recommend doing that, unless...
Well, they kind of have you unable to run away, so...
Right. I know some people are like, oh, well, I never put a debit card on there. I only use a credit card because it doesn't matter. Well, not everyone uses a credit card, so there you go. So the first thing we will do once we get on board is our muster drill. Get it done, taken care of. You do not want...
Yes, I'm going to go have mustard. I get that.
That's right, with Shaq, our mustard station. Go take care of our mustard station.
Take care of the mustard pretty well.
And then... go to Pig and Anchor, because Pig and Anchor is typically open only on sea days, but it is open on embarkation day. So the last two times now,
blink, blink.
It now has become a tradition. And having some Pig and Anchor before just kind of chilling out on the Lido, or finding some table space in the dining area.
We're just gonna wait for tacos.
And while we wait for some tacos, the Pig and Anchor is just a precursor to the tacos. The Blue Iguana tacos and the habanero salsa, it's insane. I cannot wait. And then we'll be able to get into our room, put things away. Sometimes like when we were in May, half of our luggage was there when we got there and half of it wasn't. So we were able to put part of our luggage away. When we first get into the rooms, we may have it all, we may have part of it, don't know. Won't know until we get on the ship. And then Sail, they do spa tours on the first day, and so if you're going to book a spa service, sometimes it's better to wait and book it when you get on the ship. Some people will be like, oh, I definitely want this time, so I'm going to go ahead and pre-book it.
But you're better off with the head-to-toe deal for $159.
Yeah, there's always some sort of deal, either at the spa tour or
all aboard, all ashore.
This on the second day, your first full sea day. the All Aboard, All Ashore, where they talk about all the different ports and all the stuff on the ship, where you can sometimes win free things. But anyway, so I did the spa tour in May while Sam was doing stuff in the room, and it just worked out really well. It was kind of fun to go do that. And then sailing party, dinner, and then the welcome show, which gives you like a little taste of the playlist performers. It gives you you get to meet the cruise director, and then obviously piano bar, right? So that will be night 1. Piano bar. Day 2.
Where I normally close out the night too.
Day 2.
True.
Yes. Day 2 will start early because that drink package starts at 6 a.m., y'all. And yes, we have the drink package again. So 6 a.m. we'll be at, typically it's the Atrium or Casino bar that's open the earliest.
Yeah.
We will grab drinks and we'll we'll have breakfast, hit the bar, and then go to the morning wave, which is on sea days. It is a morning show that talks by the cruise director, some of the fun squad, and they talk about the things that are going on that day across the ship. Sometimes they have special guests, like I think in May they had people from Effie, which is the jewelry store on board, come. Again, a potential to win free stuff. And sometimes they like randomly throw things at you from the stage, like
rocks,
free stuff,
rocks, rotten eggs, you know.
And then we will
all those enjoyable scents and aromas.
And then we will stick around for the All Aboard, All Ashore show, because that is where you get all the coupons for all the free stuff and perks. So, and also again, you fill out little papers, and there's a potential.
Just look in your ring from Del Sol.
Right. The last 2 times I have not been able to get my ring from Del Sol, the color changing mood ring, and I have been sad. And you can again win free stuff. There's a potential to win free spa packages, free excursions, all kinds of different things.
Then you normally stay in there and sit for the jewelry show.
Yeah, the jewelry show is typically right after, and so that is always a lot of fun. Again, they have free things and whatnot. We typically spend a lot of the first morning in the theater, which is fine because they have
There's a bar right outside. I'm good.
And there's a crew member that comes in and asks if you need to order a drink.
I'll use my cufflinks for curb feelers and not worry about it.
So day 3, the part of the morning is actually part sea day, part
Scotch and carrot juice. You get drunk but you see good.
part port day. Our day 3, which is the 28th, 29th, the 30th, is Key West. And so we actually are not able to leave the ship until 10 a.m. I will say that last year we were there early, and so we were able to clear, and we were actually off the boat by like 9. So we do plan to do an excursion that we're going to do, the Key West pub crawl excursion through Carnival. It's $55 per person, and you get a t-shirt, and you go to 5 different local bars, and you get a drink at each bar. And it has mixed reviews because some people, like, they don't want the wells or they don't want the pre-made drink that you're offered. But I think it's a really great way to kind of see. It is allergy season. Allergy season here. Things are still gloomy because it's still been in like the 90s.
Thankfully today it's snowing.
Yeah. So we'll do the pub crawl, maybe get something to eat. I definitely want to try some key lime pie, which we didn't do last year because we were so full from the Hard Rock. So definitely want to try some key lime pie.
I want to look a little closer at the museum.
Which one?
The Cuban Museum.
Oh yeah, we passed by.
We kind of went. It was closed when we went by the first time. I was like, well, okay, maybe it's closed because of the holiday.
Right, because it was New Year's Eve. No, it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Last year.
So I was like, well, okay, you know, I get
And then it was open, and they had bathrooms, and it was the single most greatest moment of my life.
I looked at a lot of the currency they were selling and stuff.
Yeah,
it wasn't badly priced.
They had so it's on Duval Street.
Yeah.
It's a little museum about people coming from Cuba. and they have some like things for sale in there. But they're one of the things about Key West is there's not a lot of public bathrooms. They want you to buy something to use their bathroom, which is fine. I get it. But this museum has complimentary bathrooms, and they were in really nice shape.
Oh, they're
really,
great. Yeah.
really clean.
They definitely are aged like the building.
Yes, but they are super clean. And they had the museum, it's like of any free museum, they have like a donation box. We gave them a donation purely because of their bathrooms. Because I was so excited to find a bathroom. You do not understand.
Isn't there a Hemingway house, I think?
Yes, Hemingway house is there.
So we might take a look into that because I like Hemingway.
Yeah. So we haven't, as of when we're filming this video, which is
we haven't ironed out all of those details.
Right. We haven't.
We have tonight.
Right. We haven't purchased the pub crawl yet, so.
I think we're still going to.
But there also is an excursion for Hemingway, and so
yeah, we want both.
I don't know if we can do both. We'd have to look.
There's enough time that we're in Key West. They probably have multiple
times
on each one.
And there's several museums right as you're going to coming out of the port area.
All kinds of cool ones. That art museum was a really beautiful building.
Oh, that art museum was beautiful, and it was closed because it was Christmas Eve. So I'm hoping that some of the things.
The Navy Museum right there.
That was also closed because it was Christmas Eve. I think it was Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I'm hoping because it's during the holidays, but it's not like Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve, that a few more things might be open that we can experience that were closed last time. But again, on Duval Street, there's a museum about people coming to Cuba. It has great free bathrooms, but do make a donation.
So does CVS.
CVS also has bathrooms. Right, it's right up the corner. Walgreens did not have a bathroom. Remember, I went and asked. They said they directed me across the street to a restaurant, and when we went over there, they wanted $6 per person to use the bathroom because you had to buy a drink.
Yeah.
I'm like,
$6 for a drink ain't bad.
It was a large Coke for $6, but I mean it is Key West, but we're both
they weren't poisoning me with Pepsi.
All right, so the next day, and we will.
I don't understand you Pepsi drinkers. You're all like, I don't know.
You don't understand, Dad.
Not on that one.
So we do have to be on the ship by around 5 o'clock because we do have anytime dining, and dinner starts at 5. So we'll actually probably want to be back by around 4 so that we can get cleaned up and get to dinner. So that we can see whatever show is going on that night. And the ship does leave port at 6 p.m. So that we can get to Freeport. We are not getting off in Freeport. We were on and off in 30 minutes on Christmas Day last year.
We might get off in Freeport.
Oh, why are we getting off in Freeport?
Senor Frog.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. So I really want to check out Senor Frog. And it was closed.
And if we don't do it in Nassau, we could do it in Freeport so we don't have to do it in Nassau.
But we'll have to see.
There's more to do in Nassau.
Right, but we'll have to see if they're open because it is New Year's Eve. But I can see them being open.
I could see it. Okay, any bar or alcoholic establishment is going to be open New Year's Eve.
Fair. So I want to check out Senor Frogs. Like I said, I wanted to last year, but it was Christmas Day and they were closed, and I was bummed. I actually cried real tears because that was like the one thing I wanted to do, and it was closed. I cried real tears. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it is open.
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
But we don't have to be off the ship first thing in the morning because I think if it is open, it won't be open until later.
Which means we can sit and do some trivia, have some coffee.
Right. One of the things that we love is that the trivia is on Ocean Plaza Deck 5. It's right in a communal area right by the coffee bar, right by the doors to go outside to Pig and Anchor, right close to the Alchemy Bar. Perfect space. We played so much trivia last year on our Freeport and Half Moon Key days. It was great. And then, of course, dinner, shows, and activities.
I don't know if Half Moon or not this time.
The next day is Half Moon Key.
I will get up early to get the
passes,
tickets, and then we can make a decision when our number gets called.
Last year, we went really back and forth because the weather.
I was awake. I could have easily went and got them, and then. But when you finally decide you want them, it's like we're number 80 or something. When I was awake at 4 to be able to go get them anyway. So this time I'm going to go get them, and if we don't use them, well, we can hand them off to somebody.
Right. The whole thing is that the weather said it was going to be in like the 60s, and it ended up being in like 78 to 80. And so that was why we ended up like humming and hawing so much over it, because we didn't want to get out there and it be absolutely freezing. So, like Sam said, he's going to go ahead, get up, go stand in line, get the tickets, and be done with it. Half Moon Cay is a tender port, so they call different you have to get a ticket, and they call each boarding room. So we'll probably get off and explore a little bit, just to be able to say that, hey, we finally got off in Half Moon Cay. And then, of course, just come back on the ship later, clean up, do trivia, things like that. The next day is Nassau, and we love...
Nassau's fun.
Nassau's fun, if you know where to go. If you've never been to Nassau, highly recommend doing an excursion to get a feel for it. We typically just do what we call the main road jewelry crawl. All of the jewelry stores have some sort of deal to get you in the door, and it's typically
alcohol.
That too. Be very, very careful. They will offer you a drink, and it's complimentary because while you're looking at the jewelry. But like, they gave me a whiskey Coke.
Yeah,
this much whiskey and this much Coke. And here's why. They're trying to get you to lower your inhibitions so that you will buy something from them.
Release your inhibitions.
So if you have plans to buy jewelry in Nassau, that's great. Hold to your convictions, take cash. But they typically have something like $10 earrings, or pay $10 for earrings, get a free matching pendant. Something like that to get you in the door to look at their more expensive jewelry. It's really a lot of fun to kind of see what you get. I still have some of the jewelry that I've had from our very first cruise on Freedom of the Seas, our Royal Caribbean cruise, that I still haven't worn. But I just keep adding to my collection. And I haven't worn it yet because some of the kids I have worked with in the past few years are grabbers. So I didn't want it to get broken. So we're actually at our destination. We'll pick up with you guys and finish this up later on. Guys, Sam's getting a drink. So it is like 6-7 hours later, picking this back up. And so when we left you guys, we left off at Nassau. Pretty much we will wander around, do the jewelry crawl, head back onto the ship, do trivia. And then of course I think it goes without saying that we will see the Players List production shows and things like that. So the day after Nassau is a sea day, and one of the things that we really enjoyed on our longer cruise on the Dream over Christmas last year was the different creativity at sea events that they did, because there were things like drawing and coloring and other activities along with the card making like we did on the Breeze. So we are looking forward to doing things like that. Obviously, we will...
I don't get to enter any drawing competitions because my doodles are bad.
Yeah, his doodles are bad. On our Christmas trip on the Dream, the Park West Gallery art lady was impressed. Yeah.
They're bad.
He doodles.
I doodle.
So...
I won't change my mind. I doodle.
One of the other things that we enjoy doing in the mornings is the brain twisters.
It's a Sudoku and
like fill in the blank and a word find and other things like that. But the only type of pencils that they do have are golf pencils. So just remember to grab and throw a couple pencils with erasers, like mechanical pencils. or as my students call them, clicky pencils, into your bag so that you have an eraser if you need it. Obviously, we will do the Wave morning show. We will, one of these last 2 C days will be the military appreciation gathering. So we will attend that. We love attending the C day high tea.
Mm-hmm.
And we always sit at the veterans table, and it's really fun to be able to get to know some people. On our trip on the Breeze, they did the military appreciation event on the morning of our Costa Maya trip, and then like it literally went from military appreciation event to C day tea, and so we already knew people, and we all kind of just went, like the group kind of just like merged from one event to the next. So it'll be interesting to see how that works coming up. So one of our last 2 C days, I'd like to do the C day brunch. We won't do it the first C day because there's just too much going on with the welcome, like the All Aboard All Ashore show, the jewelry show, those type of things, that we just won't make it. And so I want to do that one the last few days. And then again, just trivia and the shows and just the art auctions. And there's so much going on the ship that literally if you are looking for something to do, you will find something to do. So that is the 3rd and the 4th. The 5th, we are back in Galveston.
We're bored again.
Oh, we do?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that would be nice. I don't think my work would like that too much.
No problem.
So January 5th, we will be back in Galveston and getting ready to hit the road back home, because unfortunately the next day I do go back to work.
I think you're taking it off.
I'm trying to decide if I'm going to take the 6th off, because I was very, very exhausted when we got home and we got home very late, and so I kind of haven't decided.
Blame the photos, it's fault.
No, I blame
the. Want to get off.
I blame the weather.
Blame the driver. He's okay with it.
So I probably will end up taking the 6th of January off. So we're gonna go with that. I'm taking the 6th of January off.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! So I will take the 6th of January off so that I don't feel like a crazy person the next day. It's also our anniversary. So whatever. But anyway,
we'll just celebrated a week.
Right. So when we were on the Breeze, we did choose a later disembarkation time, and that is something new that Carnival started doing about a year ago. It's called digital disembarkation, and you go to the last day, and I know on our Christmas cruise they made one of the daily announcements that hey, you can now do your digital disembarkation. But I think I just started checking, and when it popped up, I grabbed it so that we could go ahead and get it done. We did the later disembarkation off the Breeze, and it was really nice because we were able to enjoy kind of a relaxed breakfast as we were coming into Galveston, and then we went to Ocean Deck 5 and just waited for our group to be called. Side note and highly necessary tip: do not take the elevators when your group is called. Take the stairs. I know that you will have some luggage with you. I know it sounds insane. Take the stairs. It was a much easier process being in the line from the stairs than the people that were trying to get off the elevator and merge into the line. Use the stairs. Okay, so what do you want to do about that? Do you want the later disembarkation time? Okay, we're going to take a later disembarkation time. But it is really simple. They bring the last sea day. They will deliver luggage tags to your room with your...
That is really easy. It's really nice.
It is. It's really super simple. You put the luggage out. It asks you how many luggage tags you need.
8,000.
And
I'm taking the boat with me.
yeah. In what, little pieces? Okay, good to know.
I'm disassembling it the entire time. What do you think? I'm taking a rivet gun and a blowtorch.
I'm scared now. You just pick your disembarkation time, and you just wait for your boarding group to be called, and you will be given your boarding group. I can't remember if it's when you're on the app or when you get your luggage tags. I can't remember. It's one of the two. But it's really nice. And something I didn't know is
we probably need to print our ones getting on here soon.
Can't until December.
Okay.
Can't print boarding passes until a little after 11 on December 13th. Because you can't print them until you check in.
Even for your luggage?
Correct.
Okay.
It's all part of the one packet. Because your luggage tags have your boarding group on them and your boarding time.
Okay.
So we will take a later boarding group and...
A later off the boat.
Yes.
That's not a boarding group.
Early embarkation, late disembarkation. And then we will hit the road for home. One of the things that we will do outside of Galveston and Texas City when we're on the 27th when we're headed down is we will stop and top off the car with gas, because we will... once we are in Galveston, we really won't use the car too much, and so we won't have to worry about stopping right away once we can just kind of get on the road to home. But that's kind of our itinerary as of right now for our trip. I know I am very excited.
I'm ready.
I am ready too. The time is going to go by quickly, because it seems like it was just yesterday that we booked it, and that was like the beginning of, it was about 2 months ago ish, and we're already in October, and we're kind of in the middle of from when we booked it to when we go. So lots of things going on between now and then, and we will bring you along for the ride. So thank you so much for hanging out with us. I know this was a longer video, but itinerary videos tend to be that way. So thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, y'all.